Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Sully Speaks. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel, send it to somebody else so that these inspirational words are a blessing to someone else. Also, my email will be posted. Send me emails, questions, comments, concerns, um, even some ideas that you have, some thoughts that you have that I can take to and discuss these things. But this first episode, I wanna use the thought, let it go, let it go. Too many times, too often, we hold on to things unnecessarily. Somebody may have done something wrong to us, may have said something to us. Friendships may have been severed, and we hold on to it. And sometimes the pain and the hurt that from whatever the circumstance was uh, tends to hold us hostage. What we don't want to do is allow those circumstances to allow us to miss out on life because the damage that it has done, because we're holding on to the anger, the frustration. We want to be able to let that go so that we can move forward. We become so free when we're able to let those petty situations go. Yeah, they hurt me. Yeah, they made me mad. Yeah, they took this from me. Yeah, they did that. But what good is holding on to it going to do? I want to suggest to you that life is entirely too short to hold on to petty disagreements, to hold on to misunderstandings. And a lot of times we are upset and frustrated with people, circumstances because of a misunderstanding, something petty. Somebody said something to you the wrong way, or somebody relayed something to you in an incorrect manner, and now I don't like such and such. Now I can't deal with such and such. Sometimes our healing is in letting it go and forgiving people who don't necessarily want to be forgiven. Another thing is a lot of times people are hold on to situations due to the fact that they hold on to stuff and the other person doesn't even know that they necessarily feel that way about whatever the problem is. So one side is mad and the other side is living their life. What you don't want to do is allow circumstances to rent out space in your head and in your heart and hold you hostage. It affects our living. It affects the way we do things. It affects the way we build relationships with people. It affects our performance when it comes to working with people because we have trust issues. Two, because we don't know who's for us and who's not. All because of one situation. A friend of mine who's gone on to be with God, Brian Petty, used this term and I'll never forget it. He said, "You only get one ticket. So you ought to enjoy the ride." That's the thing we want to do today. Get to the point where we can let it go. We carry baggage from relationships, someone hurt us, and we take it out on everybody else. But the reality to it is we still holding on to it really, really tight. Still holding on to it as tight as we possibly can because we think that the next situation, the next friendship, the next job, the next pastor is going to do us the same way that the previous did. And that's not actually the case. We ought to be able to let it go. Now, I know some of you are saying, "Sully, it's not that easy." I get it. I get it. But you have to start somewhere. Start somewhere. If you can't forgive the person, forgive yourself for allowing yourself for dealing with that person or dealing with that circumstance or staying in that situation too long. I remember a few years ago, I preached a message on Good Friday. It was the first word, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I talked about how Jesus talks about forgiveness, and he says, forgive them 70 times 7. And here it is, he's on the cross, and he's asking God, his Father. He didn't say, God, I forgive them. He said, but God, forgive them. In essence, he was saying, they did me dirty. They did me wrong. I may not be necessarily ready to forgive them, but God, I'm asking you to forgive them. Here's the good thing about letting it go. When you let it go, it frees your heart. It takes the blocks, the roadblocks from in front of your life. You're able to walk clear. You're able to walk free. Your mind is free. Your heart isn't held hostage. You're able to move in the way you should. You can experience life because you don't have the burden of holding on to something that kept you bound. It's not easy, but you gotta start somewhere. Gotta start somewhere. Gotta start somewhere. Start by forgiving yourself. Start by forgiving yourself. When you forgive yourself, then you can start processing everything else. You know what? I was the one who allowed myself to deal with this. You know what? You made a mistake. I made a mistake. I'm forgiving myself. I'm not going to hold that against me. And another thing about letting it go is when you let it go, your mind opens up. When you hold on to things too long, it kind of has you one directional. It kind of has you one directional. And when it's one directional, you're not open-minded. But when you can let certain situations and circumstances and grudges and hurt and pain and being mad at people go, it frees your mind. It frees your heart to be able to love correctly again, to be able to receive love correctly again. Let it go. Let it go. On Monday, I went to a funeral, and it was almost like a DMV family reunion. Musicians, preachers, singers, all from all over the area came to celebrate the life of this great brother that we were there for, and it made me think, how many people were there had something they were holding on to with somebody else that was there. Somebody did you wrong, somebody frustrated you, made you angry. How many other people were there? And it's crazy because I have a big brother who I hadn't talked to in probably 5 years. And at this funeral, we were able to make amends with each other. Sometimes you have to look past what did or did not happen and realize that the future is more important. Let it go. Let it go. I know it's not that easy. I get it. But let it go. You will be so much better without it than you will with it. Let it go. That's all I got. That's our Sully's moment for this week. Join us again next week for another episode of Sully's moment. Let it go. Remember, like, share, subscribe. My email will be posted in the comment section, and it's going to be in the video. Send me an email with questions, comments, concerns, whatever. I'd love to hear from you. Have a good one.